Hey guys, I got some stamps. Isn't that exciting? Something I'd like to address, since I'm sure that many of you in the Vortex probably think that I'm one of those, like, evil Republicans. The Republican Party used to be the party of reform. It was a party that was created to end slavery. But because our political system is so morally corrupt, it really doesn't matter to me. Like, just because you're a Republican, like, that doesn't mean that you're any better than a Democrat, you know? Because you're still a sheep. You just have a different shepherd. People that are truly, like, free thinkers know that voting is a complete waste of time. The only reason that I like Trump is because, you know, he's fucking shit up. And he's also taking down child molesters. But, you know, he's fucking shit up. And he's pissing people off. And that's awesome. But something I'd like to address in regards to these stamps. This country's awesome. This country's awesome because of all the freedom that we have. A lot of people complain about how much freedom we have and that it's too much. They would rather have shitty healthcare than be able to say what they want. But I am willing to bet that if you had shitty healthcare and you did not have the ability to bitch about the shitty healthcare, you'd probably be pissed off about that. So, you don't have to be one of those USA, USA, USA pieces of shit to appreciate this country. You don't have to wear an American flag. You don't have to have an American flag shower curtain. You don't have to have American flag curtains. Like regular ass curtains. You don't have to, you know, have an American flag towel. You don't have to have American flag napkins. You don't have to do all this overzealous patriotic bullshit in order to appreciate living in a free country, okay? You can complain about the United States of America without completely pissing, shitting, vomiting, and wiping your bloody tampon all over the United States of America. You can criticize the Constitution without completely throwing it out. You can talk about the hypocrisy of the Founding Fathers and how this country wasn't free for a lot of the people that lived here for a very, very long time. You can talk about this. You don't have to completely throw this country out to the wolves. You really don't have to do that. That being said, I really do appreciate my freedom. Speaking of freedom, I can buy vitamins right now. They're trying to make buying vitamins legal. Did y'all know that? They're trying to make this so you can only buy these things, you can only get them from a doctor. A doctor! And at that point, you have no idea what you're getting. It's just as bad as all those pills. I also got some Band-Aids in different sizes, just in case I hurt myself, which is totally possible because I'm a self-destructive person. Not by choice anymore, though. See, I'm trying to eliminate these issues that I have. So, okay, I quit drinking about 8 years ago. And I quit smoking, I guess like a year and a half ago, something like that. I really don't remember. And I quit smoking marijuana, and I quit eating marijuana. I quit fucking with marijuana. I still inhale it, like, through my nose. Like, when I smell it. Like, when I cook with it, I still, like, inhale those vapors, like the THC vapors that are extracted through the oven. Like, I still smell them, and they still get me kind of stoned. But that's the extent of it. And I take CBD, which has a teeny tiny trace of marijuana. So I probably shouldn't try to pass a drug test, because I might still feel it. Unless, of course, it's a mouth swab. In that case, I'm good to go. But, I have rolled on windows, in case you're wondering what I was just doing. I think that's pretty cool. Since, like, you know, most cars nowadays have, like, the manual, like, you just press the button and the window goes down. But see, that's the really cool thing about having roll down windows, is that, like, you're not reliant on a button. Like, you gotta do it yourself. And so that's a lot less likely to get screwed up, too. Because, you know, a lot of times when people say, my window doesn't work, well, you don't really have that problem with the, you know, the roll-down window, because you do it yourself. See? Libertarian. Anyway. Yeah, I can't stand these, like, overzealously patriotic motherfuckers. They're just so fucking annoying. Like, I personally find that absolutely obnoxious. I find it ignorant. Now, I mean, I meet black people all the time that appreciate this country, but let's face it, you guys, like, African Americans have been horribly mistreated in this country for so very long, and I think that's great if you're patriotic and you're able to appreciate, you know, the positive aspects of this country, and you know, in spite of like our historical Achilles heel. But you know, it's not just African Americans. It's fucking Jews. It's Japs. It's I'm not gonna say women, because I don't know why women complain so much. Like, I don't think that women have been discriminated anywhere near as much as, like, people that were, like, the wrong skin tone, you know? So, like, women as a marginalized group, I just don't see it. I mean, black women, like, yeah. Japanese women, yeah. Indian women, yeah. Jewish women, yeah. But white women? White women have never, like, had to deal with any kind of fucking oppression. All they do is fucking complain about, like, what little trauma they might have had, like, 20 years ago. You know, and I think that this mindset of, like zero trauma, like this, like, I think that the more trauma that you experience, like, the stronger of a person you are. And I think that that's why our society is so weak, because especially with women that claim to be feminists, it's like the more trauma that you experience, like, the more empathy you have, the more humility you have, the more capable you are of being able to understand other people. And so that's why I call bullshit on all these people that want to claim that they're victims. First of all, victimhood is not something that you shout from the rooftops. It's not something you put on a t-shirt. It's not something you wear as a badge of honor. Nobody that's a victim is proud to be a victim. Nobody wants to tell anybody else that they were a victim. I'm not saying that, like, the Me Too movement didn't start out good. It was a good thing when nobody knew about it. But the more that people know about something like that, the more inclined people will be to misrepresent it and turn it into something that it was never about. And very quickly, you know, thanks to Alyssa Milano, who deserves the guillotine, very quickly it turned into this fucking shit show involving a bunch of rich white cunts that have never experienced any kind of oppression or trauma a day in their life. And I think that when victimhood becomes something that people they do wear it as a badge of honor, like, I don't think that those people's stories are legit. And you can say, who the fuck are you? And I could tell you, I'm Amy Gross, and I know what the fuck I'm talking about, because most women are completely full of shit. So I know that I sound cold, but I think that Me Too started out with great intentions, like back in 2006. But like most things that get political, it's not about what they say it's about. Like all these all these people in Hollywood that are getting called out for their past transgressions, it's not going to change anything. It's not going to change the culture. Like, no matter what they say, what it's going to do is allow more of this behavior to be behind closed doors. Like, if you think that rapists are going to stop raping all because of some dumb hashtag, you're out of your goddamn mind, okay? Like, a rapist is not going to change their ways, okay? You can't teach people not to rape, just like you can't teach a murderer not to kill people. This is fucking stupid. They know that it's stupid, but it doesn't matter how stupid it is. They're still gonna get on their high horse and act like they're doing the world so much good by being completely full of shit. And it's just obnoxious. But it's especially obnoxious to me because, you know, as a person that legitimately, like, thinks about victims and cares about victims, and you know, it's, I mean, I'm not going to say that I'm a victim myself, because, like, I've never actually experienced rape. I mean, I guess I could say that I've experienced, like, sexual harassment or sexual misconduct, but, like, I'm not going to wear that as a badge of honor, because it ain't. And furthermore, if I experienced that on any level, I always talked about it, specifically to the person that I thought was responsible. And I think that what makes people victims is this inability to talk about it. And so when I say, like, I'm not a victim anymore because I told the person, like, hey, that wasn't cool. Hey, like, I told you I don't like anal sex. Don't do that, you know? It's like, you're only a victim if you allow yourself to be a victim. And I think for a lot of people that, you know, when they're kids, like, it's different when you're a kid and you are, like, relying on some legal guardian to take care of you, and they don't do that. And I mean, it's completely different. But, you know, when it comes to, like, grown-ass women that walk their happy ass into a hotel room and then they want to act like they're really brave and courageous because they come forward, like, 20 years later when it's most convenient through a hashtag, and they want to act like they're so strong and shit. Fuck those women. Fuck those women. Speaking of more people that should commit suicide. But I mean, that just pisses me off that they even, like, want to call themselves a victim. They even think that they qualify in that class of people. Because victims don't have a choice. Victims don't get to decide, like, hey, do I want a movie role or do I want integrity? So, like, I don't feel sorry for these people at all. Like, Hollywood can go straight to hell because that's where they belong. I feel like one of the few people that in Hollywood that had integrity was Marilyn Monroe, and she was murdered. They said it was a suicide, but she knew too much about aliens, just like JFK. Like, they killed them both for the same reason. Same with Robert Kennedy. In fact, Marilyn was getting into an argument with Robert Kennedy, like, right before she died. So it was over that UFO file. Donald Trump isn't, like, the only president that's known about. He's the only president that's actually, like, talked about disclosing it. So, of course, he's taking the credit for it, because when does he not take credit for it? But I think that there's a lot of stuff that they don't want people to know, and they'll go out of their way to silence people and make sure that they don't come forward. Now, I've been paranoid about this shit, like, thinking they're gonna kill me, and it's kind of stupid because I'm not that important. I'm just some little minion, and I have the feeling that people aren't gonna listen to what I have to say anyway because I'm crazy. And so I just have to act as much like Alex Jones as possible, and then I feel like they won't touch me. But who knows, though? Who knows? If I'm dead tomorrow, you'll know why. Because I talked about UFOs. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people know the shit that I know. It's not like that uncommon for people to, like, believe these conspiracies, you know? Conspiracies. But it is kind of nerve-wracking, though, Because, like, you know, just like, especially like looking up stuff about Hillary Clinton, I'm like, oh my God, am I on the list of people that are going to get canned? You know, because I know too much about this bitch. I actually don't know that much about her. I just know that she's fucking evil. And that's really obvious, though. Like, it's so amazing to me that people still think that she would have been better than Donald Trump. But, I bought this yesterday. Since I don't really have, like, a working air conditioner in this car. I'd rather, like, do something like this than try to get, like, my air conditioner fixed. Oh my goodness, that feels so good. Anyway, that means I need to go inside. But there's all kinds of shit that lots of people know about lots of stuff in this country that's fucked up. But it's really hard to do anything about these things. Like, you can talk about them all day. You can, you know, make videos about them. You can wear t-shirts. You can go to protest rallies. You can vote. You can not vote. You can fast or, you know, whatever the fuck, like, you want to do. But, I mean, what sucks is that, you know, you can't really change these things. The most that you can do is, like, change yourself and try to be the best person that you can be and not be those pieces of shit that you hate so very much, you know? And try to practice what you preach and live up to the things that you believe in. It's easier to do this if you believe in God. But you don't have to believe in God. It's not a requirement. Like, if you're a spiritual person, that doesn't require you to believe in God. When I think of spiritual, I just think of, like, be a good person. Don't be a fucking shithead. Try. Just fucking try. Try to be a decent person. But, you know, many don't even want to do that. They just want to put it on somebody else. But that's silly. Because when you blame other people, like, that doesn't do anything for you. Like, you're doing yourself a disservice. Like, you might experience some instant gratification of, you know, blaming somebody else for your shit. But at the end of the day, like, you're not better off because of it. Oh, shit. Well, I guess you could just walk. That's right. I need the exercise. I do. Okay, yeah, see? I was supposed to mail this. I was supposed to drop this in the mailbox, but I obviously forgot. So I guess I'm going to walk my happy ass to the mailbox, which is a couple blocks from here. That's just fine. I'll talk to God the whole way. See, whenever I forget to do something, or I'm like, I fuck something up, like, obviously, like, I made a mistake, I was supposed to drop this off, but I forgot about it, so I tell myself, oh, no, you're supposed to walk. So, that's me, though. That's how crazy I am. I don't know if that's, like, the schizophrenic in me, or that's the spirituality in me, or what that is, but, I am grateful for it, though, because I think it makes me an interesting person that has, like, more unique experiences because of the way that I look at things. And it's another way to not play the victim, you know, and not beat myself up because I didn't remember to go to the mailbox. The pot is still wearing off, obviously. It'll take a while. So, anyway, like I've said before, y'all don't have to agree with me. I I appreciate you sticking around, even if you don't agree with me. Whoa, sorry, y'all. Because I don't agree with me. I say questionable things all the time. But you know, I think that this culture is so quick to write somebody off. You know? I mean, you'll write somebody off all because, you know, they tweeted something like 15 years ago that you just found out about. Oh my God, a tweet, a tweet, a tweet. Oh, the humanity. Such a travesty, right? He's praying behind me. Such a travesty that somebody would talk out of turn via Twitter. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's pretty stupid. Like what people will jump to conclusions over. I think the finest example is Kevin Hart, who honestly, I don't even think Kevin Hart's that funny, but I mean, he's a comic and I support comedy. So for that reason alone, I will completely defend him, and I will say that that was really fucking stupid that he lost a possible job. Not that that was much of a loss. I mean, oh no, can't host the Academy Awards. That's terrible. I mean, really, he was blessed for that. He was blessed for those supposed anti-LGBT, WTF, LOL community tweets. But it's like, just the fact that like they're so serious about these things, like they're so serious about like, you can't say anything, and it doesn't matter if it was 10, 20, 30 years ago. If you're ever caught being a person that's not completely politically correct, it's like ridiculous that you would expect people to live up to the same standards like today as like you're getting onto him for his attitude for like 10 years ago. But like 10 years ago, we didn't have the standards we have now. So that's really, really stupid. It's like the same shit with like people saying like, oh, well, the founding fathers were racist, you know? Now, I'm not saying that they weren't hypocritical in their application of the Constitution and like who was allowed these rights and who wasn't allowed these rights. I mean, that was completely flawed. Obviously, that was completely flawed. But at the same time, it's like, well, back then, like we lived in a different country, and like things were acceptable that aren't. I mean, personally, I don't understand how that could ever be acceptable, but it just seems like people that bitch about the past, and they're like, they want to change certain aspects of the past, and like they want to just completely get rid of it. And I'm like, but that's stupid, because like if you get rid of the past, like how are you going to learn from it? You know, like you're doomed to repeat it if you forget what it was that we came from and how much we've changed and like why that change was necessary. But I realize that I'm not black, so I probably shouldn't talk about it, you know, because I'm obviously a racist bigot. You probably should like see the people I hang out with and the people that I, you know, have had sex with before you call me a racist, because like it really doesn't make sense. I mean, you saw Tupac praying behind me, right? He prays behind me all the time. But I find it personally annoying that all these people, like, they want to hold somebody's past against them as if people can't change, and as if society can't change. And like, I don't think that society is changing for the better. I think that society is pretending that they're changing for the better, but they're obviously changing for the worst. I mean, if you have people leaving the Democratic Party left, then obviously like this change that they're making is not positive. You know, it's not something that a lot of people want to go along with because it's absolutely ridiculous and it doesn't make sense. So that being said, oh look, she got on my car. She does that. Oh no, she's not even on my car. Look at that shit. Oh my God. Look at that beautiful car. Say hello, Fiona. Say hello. She said hi in her own way. You guys just don't know how she talks, okay? I'm the only one that she really talks to. But yeah. Standards are a weird thing. And what's even weirder is that people that obviously don't have standards are the ones that are like mad because like comics and artists and people like you know, people that say words, you know, like humans, oh my God. Like we're held to such high standards by people that have no standards. Like their standards are contingent on like the tide and like the status quo and like what people are going along with like at the time, you know? So how is that reliable? How is that trustworthy? How does that even mean anything? That's what I'm saying. Like, so all this like politically correct shit, it's just stupid because like it's all susceptible to change. So like what's acceptable now might not be acceptable in 5 minutes. It might not be acceptable in 5 days. It might not be acceptable in 5 months. And so like, I mean, just looking at like the different ways that we've handled issues. I mean, the fact that like, that we went from calling black people one N-word to another N-word, you know? Like that should tell you right there, not only are white people lazy as fuck, but like, that it's stupid. Like this culture is just so stupid. And it's like, obvious, like if you're calling somebody something different in order to like demean them, it doesn't matter like what word you're calling them. It's the action behind it that is problematic. So somebody would get offended like, oh, Amy said the N-word. But it's like, oh, well, Amy said it because she was trying to make a point about how white liberals don't actually give a fuck about the black community at all, and they just want to pretend that they do to be politically correct. But it's like, if I had said it in another way, it wouldn't have been as offensive, you know? So that's why it's stupid. It's just fucking stupid. And until these people actually hang out with all those marginalized groups, until they hang out with those people that they want a white knight for, quite literally, like I don't give a fuck what they have to say. Because they don't actually care about anybody. They don't care about victims. They don't care about rape. They don't care about racism or sexism or homophobia or any of that shit. Like they're using these groups in order to promote their own image. They're using these groups in order to look wokey, hokey, jokey, you know? They don't give a fuck. Just ask them about any of the issues. Ask them like how they feel about Jim Crow, or like ask them how they feel about Stonewall. Ask them how they feel about Anita Baker, and like, you know, just Harvey Milk. A lot of these prominent figures are like, okay, good example, Matthew Shepard, tied to a fence post and beaten to death for being a homosexual, okay? In Wyoming, I think. I'm pretty sure it was in Wyoming. That happened a long time ago. R.I.P. Matthew, you're not burning in hell. Don't worry.
God doesn't really give a shit about that. God gives as much of a shit about homosexuality as he does shellfish, okay? Well, how can you talk about that in relation to like Jussie Smollett and Jussie Smollett like making up this hate crime and all this shit? I mean, what do you think like that whole fiasco like says about our culture and our susceptibility to just being convinced that like something happened to this person all because they said it did, and like we're like, this person over here was literally tied to a fence post and beaten to death for being gay, and like this person over here who has a lot of money and a title and he's in 2 marginalized groups, like this person gets away with lying and being just a total fucking shithead. I mean, it's just unbelievable, you guys. Anyway, I've ranted enough. I think that you guys know where I'm getting at, but you know, our culture's fucked, basically. Our culture's fucking fucked. Bye-bye.